What's going on, everybody? So today's video we're going to do a walkthrough repair estimate of a condo. This should be pretty straightforward because usually the thing with condos, obviously, you're not going to have to factor in the roof. There's no basement, obviously. So generally speaking, they're going to be a lot easier to estimate repairs and come up with a number for your renovation. So we're going to check this one out. I'm going to tell you exactly how much I think it's going to cost, kitchen, bathrooms, things like that. And we'll go from there. All right, here's the condo straight ahead. Got some work going on. Not very secure, you just kind of walk right in. Goes down a little bit. So this is us right here. Jeez, this thing needs some paint for sure. You can see the walls are all beat up and everything. And usually, paint on a condo, really any house, it's not going to be the biggest expense. A place like this, maybe it's about 800 square feet. You probably factor maybe $300-400 per room. It's always going to vary, obviously, depending on the size, but probably not going to be spending more than a couple $1,000 on paint in here. You can see some of the drywall work, so you'd have to factor in some drywall costs. Usually with condos, people keep the windows. So when I'm doing a condo, I don't typically factor in window repairs, that you'd have to get the drywall done. But that drywall is really not that difficult. If you are doing windows, they're about $300 per window, $300 to $400 per window. So that's something to keep in mind. The biggest cost you're gonna have with a condo, so these floors are kind of beat up, but you could actually refinish them. They're not terrible, I've seen much worse. So refinishing floors is probably gonna refinishing these parquet floors is probably gonna be about $3 or $4 per square feet. So you're looking at a couple $1,000 just to make these floors look nice and shiny. See if the light's on. So here's your kitchen. Obviously, everything's kind of ripped up, and it's not a big kitchen either. So a kitchen like this, this is a very small kitchen. You shouldn't, for a full gut renovation of this kitchen, brand new everything, you should be looking at about $10,000, maybe $12,000. If you're in a really high-end market, where the one-bedroom condo might be selling for over $500,000, you might be spending closer to 15, 20, 25. But on this size kitchen and this price point, the after renovated value of this one might be around, I don't know, $350 or so. So you don't need to go super overboard with the kitchen, but definitely at least $10,000 is a good estimate. And keep in mind too, with these estimates, the point is not to be exact. The point is just not to be off by 50% or anything. So it's always an estimate. We'll walk into the bathroom here. Tile's not actually that bad. If you're gonna get a contractor in here to blow up the kitchen and do the floors and maybe a couple windows, you'd probably just get this done as well. You got a couple cracked tiles, but if you're doing a full bathroom renovation, it's going to be about $10,000. And if it just needs some updates here and there, it depends what if you're just replacing the toilet, obviously that's going to be maybe just $500. But I'd probably factor between $5,000 to $10,000 for a full bathroom renovation. Moving on, so we did floors, bathroom, we did kitchen, windows. Another thing you're gonna have to take into account is light fixtures. So they have these kind of janky looking ones. It's funny when the whole house is complete trash, but they got new light fixtures. You're gonna wanna factor in probably getting some nicer ones, obviously, so add those up. There's only really gonna be about it's one right here, two, three lights, 3 fans. So that's not going to be too bad. Mostly what I see with this property is not that bad. Electrical, The electrical panels, believe it or not, on most condos don't need to be replaced. I'm not an electrician, but usually you're not gonna have to replace them. You might, I'm sure that if a home inspection was done, they'd find, maybe some of these outlets are a little beat up. You might have to replace some of these outlets. I'm sure there's not GFCIs, ground fault circuit interrupters in the kitchen. So an electrician would have to put in some GFCI outlets in here. But that's really, and you'd have a light right there, obviously, that you would need to do. But the good thing about condos, there's not a lot of variables. So once you tally up your repair estimate, you always want to add 10%. In the link to this video, I'm going to actually put a link to a repair estimator that you can use. So it's going to take into account all the potential things that you need to fix in a property. And again, it's not going to get you exactly $67,000. However, it should get you right in the ballpark. And it's going to be pretty conservative too, because after you tally up all your repair numbers, we're going to add 10% to that, because there's always going to be something. I'm sure just even in this little 1-bedroom condo, there's probably something I'm missing here, even though it's not very big. And a couple last tips. The website Home Advisor is actually really good for coming up with repair estimates, because it gives you a low estimate, a medium estimate, and a high estimate based on the thing that you need to do with the property, as well as your zip code. So it takes into account, if you're in a really high-end area, kitchen might be $50K. If you're in a lower area, it might only be $10K. Just depends on the area, depends on the extent of renovation, if you do a high-end renovation, low-end renovation. So check out Home Advisor, free website, has a lot of good resources. And then lastly, once you come up with all your repairs, you want to create a scope of work where you're going to basically say, okay, we need the kitchen renovated, we need the bathroom renovated, we want the windows replaced, and you want to be like really detailed and really itemized. You can have pictures of maybe the kitchen or bathrooms that you would potentially want your place to look like. And then once you have a detailed scope of work, you're going to want to put that scope of work in the property, or you can even meet contractors there, but you want to get about 3 different estimates after you come up with a super detailed scope of work, so that you can get different perspectives and different ideas on the project. And I actually forgot one thing. So HVAC units. Most condos, you're going to have to replace your own HVAC. Usually it's going to be a heat pump, and those are about $5,000. You could probably do some that are less expensive, but typically it's going to be in the ballpark of $5,000, depending on your condo. So just factor that into your costs as well. Outside of that, there's not going to be that many major costs. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video on this condo repair walkthrough. Probably do one for a townhouse as well as a single family house, just so you can get a better idea of different variables that go into the different properties. Condos are usually pretty easy. So hope you liked it. Please subscribe. Please like this, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.